So let me set the context for this video. In this video, we are going to talk about, I am going to talk about me. This video is a bit different from the videos that I've made prior to this one, because this video is going to be a very spontaneous one. I don't have a script prepared for it. That's why whatever I'm going to talk, it's going to be in the moment, and I'm going to stutter a lot, I'm going to fumble a lot, and I'm going to forget what I'm talking about, which is happening currently. But yeah, let's get right into it. I have some points written on a paper in front of me, but these are just points, not properly written scripts. So this video may turn out to be a disaster, but with this video I really want to see how long can I go on without a script, and how long can I talk spontaneously. So in this video I'm going to talk about the problems that I have, but not the real problems. I'm talking about those superficial, on a surface problems, which are not that important also, but also very important because it messes your brain. Like, people find that these are serious problems with me, and I think it's quite normal, because on the internet, especially on Instagram, it feels like whatever the problem you have, you feel like there are other people who also relate with them, so it feels okay to have these problems. But it's a very different thing, because Instagram, it has the algorithms so that it curates that kind of content to you. I don't know how it does, but it's because of these algorithms that you are recommended what you relate with. So that's why it feels like, okay, I am not the only one probably, but the chances are that amongst the people around you, you may be the only one having such problems. And I think I'm going too deep into explaining the context of this video, so let's jump right into the video. So the first point is that I am a very terrible listener, because I am the kind of person who gets told a lot of gossips and secrets, because I am good at keeping them. But the problem is I forget things. That is in fact the advantage of it. That is what makes you a very good listener, but that's a different thing. The point is, like, people share their secrets, but I am like, I forget them. So if you are like this, then you would probably see yourself as a very good person, that okay, I'm very good at keeping secrets because I forget them. But people will use you as a fucking emotional trash can. They will dump all their gossips and secrets into you because they know for sure that you're going to forget them. So it's like you're getting used for your condition, which is not a good thing. That's what I think. It makes you an empty vessel, because people just come and shove their thoughts into you, and you do nothing with them. You couldn't care about them. And this is a point which I think a lot of people can relate with, not because they are like me, but because in their lives they have at least one person like this, whom you can confide in, whom you can share your secrets. So that's what I think about it. So before moving on to the second point, I want to explain my current situation, and it is that I am a computer science engineer, a recent pass out, and I'm currently looking for a job. And unless you're living under a rock, you might already know how the job market is right now, and it's a miserable situation. And I'm also not actively looking for a job, because I gave up on that a month ago. I made a LinkedIn post explaining how messed up the situation is, and cold emailing and applying blindly is like a very futile thing to do. It makes me arrive at the second point in this video, which is, the second point is that I associate everything, even the basic things, to getting a job. Let me explain this properly, okay? Right now, I do not care about myself at all. I do not care about my mental health. I do not care about my physical health. I do not care how I look. And I do not care about like all such sort of things which are basics, which are like non-negotiables in your life. But I associate these things to getting a job. Like, I'll start going to gym after getting a job. I'll start doing skincare after getting a job. And this makes me wonder, what if I do not get a job? Then what will happen? Because I never, even in my dreams, even in my worst nightmare, I did not imagine like staying unemployed for the rest of my life. But what if it comes to that? What if the job market gets so fucked up that and it's going there actually, but what if the situation gets even worse than this? Then what? Then I'll probably stay like this for the rest of my life, and I don't want that. It's not a good thing. So associating everything to getting a job, like, it's not a good thing, in the longer run. You should at least draw a line between what are your dreams and what are like some basic non-negotiables, and you should do the things which you must do to live your life properly. It's quite evident that I do not have the courage to talk about my problems even with the people I trust, even with the people who I know won't judge me if I talk about my problems with them. But I still won't say a word about how my life is going. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why I do not tell people. It's probably because I'm too tired to articulate my situation in words. It could be that. Also, it's not like I'm completely fearless of judgment. On top of it all, I think the fear that resides in me, which subsides everything, is the fear of being the only one with such problems. Like, I feel like people may not relate with my situation, which, to be honest, it's not necessary that people will relate with your problems. I mean, it's not something that you expect from people to relate with your problems, but you want people to listen to your problems. You do not even want a solution because you yourself have thought about it a lot, and you yourself know that how convoluted your situation is. It's not like you want a solution. It's like you want somebody to listen to your shit without judging, because you know that it's evident to you that there is no solution. Or probably if there is, then it will take time to happen. But I deny that possibility that I can talk to someone about it. I don't know why I do that, but it is what it is. The fourth point is quite funny because I've written it in a funny way, and it says that I piss on every slight chance of something good happening in my life. Let me explain. So let me give you an analogy which I read in some book. And by the way, the book is called Different Seasons. It's by Stephen King, and it's a very, very good book. It's the one I finished just 2 days ago. It is a collection of novellas. The first novella is called Shawshank Redemption, on which a movie is also made. But in that novella, the guy gives an example of a hurricane. With that example, with this analogy, he tries to explain that there are two types of people on this planet. He tries to explain how people think in a situation of havoc. Consider there is a house full of antiques, like there are paintings and there are utensils and stuff which are antique, which are valuable. There's a house full of that, and there's owner of the house, and he comes to know that there's a hurricane charging right at his house. Then what will he do? There are two types of people who will act in this situation. The first type is the guy will think like, okay, the hurricane is coming right at my house, but it won't come at my house. Like, he's on the leap of faith that the hurricane will not charge into his house, because maybe why would God do such a thing to him? Why would God allow such a thing to happen to him? Why would such beautiful antiques and oil paintings will just get demolished with this hurricane? Like, he's on a leap of faith. Also, he thinks like, even if it comes to my house, it will change its course, or even if it charges right through my house, it won't do that much damage. Or if it does that level of damage, then my antiques are insured. So he likes to think this way about the problem. Then there's other guy who thinks that the hurricane, no matter how weather forecast people say this hurricane is going to charge right through my house, it's going to demolish every single piece in my house, it's going to leave me in shambles, it's going to destroy my finances and everything, it's going to destroy my whole life. This is me. This over pessimistic kind of an approach to a problem. This approach is something which is like, it's ingrained in my blood. I don't know why. I've been like this since I was aware about how this world works. So probably this is not, it's definitely not the right way to look at problems, because for me, the glass is always half empty. It's never half full. And that's why I sometimes think that if I anticipate what's coming, then probably it won't happen. But even if it does happen, it will make me less agitated about it, because I have already anticipated it happening. So this is the thing, anticipating your problems, thinking about the worst things. There are two pros. Okay, the first one is that if like you have anticipated the bad thing happens to you, then what? Because you already have expected it to happen, so it makes you less infuriated, it makes you less agitated, it makes you less hurt. And if it doesn't happen, if the hurricane just passes by without doing any damage, then what? Then it's good. Then it's a surprise, because this is more than you expected. So both the things are still in your favor. If it gets bad, then you already have anticipated it, so it makes you less hurt, and it keeps your sanity intact. And if it just passes on without doing any impact, then it's also very good. But if I see that the glass is always half full, then I will probably I'll probably be complacent with the situation, and I will never try to fix it. I will just rely on this leap of faith that it will not happen. Maybe God doesn't want it to happen. Why would God do such a thing to me? But this has never helped. Trusting that things will only get good and being over optimistic about things, it has never helped me, because this year mostly has been the worst year of my life, and all the things that could go wrong went wrong. So that kind of thing happened this year. So that's why I built this mindset of expecting the worst, because even if something close to that happens, I will be untouched with it. I will still be as sane as I was before, and that will keep my mind running like a normal person. So that is the thing. The next point that I've written on this paper, it says that I am too conscious to enjoy anything, and I don't know how to explain this, because sometimes it feels like if the things that about this world, or the things that you are aware about, are like a boon and a curse. It has both sides. The good side is like I said in my previous point, you already know what's coming. The other side of the coin is that then you unlearn how to enjoy. You just unlearn how to be present in the moment. I still don't think that I can articulate this point properly, because it's a very deep and profound kind of a thought for me to explain. But this is something I feel this way, that I'm too conscious and too aware of my situation and surrounding, that I have ceased to enjoy even the little moments in my life. The next point is when people tell me that they get lonely when they do not have anyone to talk in their life. And I tried really hard to relate with their situation, because first I tried to think like, how is this a problem? Like, how is this a problem that you have no one to talk to every day? Because for me, it's like, it's a very good thing. And it's probably because the kind of a person I am, I enjoy my solitude more than the company of anyone around me. Right now, I am living with my parents, and I talk to them once in a while. Not once in a while, well, every day. But I still feel complacent about it. I still don't want any third person to be in my life who expects me to talk to them every day, which is kind of a nightmare for me. I cannot talk to one person every day. Like, I will surely run out of things to say. So the thing is, I will surely run out of things to say after a while. Even if like a lot of things happens with me in a day, I will put it so blandly that I'll run out of things to say in just 5 minutes. Then what? Then what should I talk about? I will stay silent. I will just listen to the other person. And like I said, the problem with me, when I listen a lot, I just zone out. I just couldn't care what the other person is talking to me. I just couldn't give a fuck. Let me explain this properly. This is the point which is important, that I want other person to talk about their bullshit problems with me, like the problems which are like non-existent compared to my problems. And I won't talk about my problems. It makes me feel powerful. It makes me feel that, okay, I'm good at this. I'm good at keeping my shit to myself. And it makes me feel, powerful. I don't know how. And it is a problem. It surely is a problem. There's something really, really wrong with this alpha male kind of a mindset. I don't subscribe to this thinking of pretentious, toxic masculinity. I don't subscribe to this notion. I believe that masculinity is not something which you it's not a mask that you wear. It's something which you which you master, which you inherit after taking the right decisions in your life. Till the end of my life, I will stay consistent on this thought. This notion will be unchanged in my mind. This other side of the spectrum is that even if you are not subscribing to that black pill or red pill or whatever the fuck that notion is, like escaping the matrix, if I don't subscribe to that notion, then on the other side of the spectrum, you're a weak man, okay? And you want to feel vulnerable, you want to share your feelings to other people, and I don't subscribe to that either. I don't think that I will ever be able to share my shit with people. Like right now, I'm sharing this all this in this video because I know this is nothing. This is probably the tip of the iceberg. If the iceberg like goes down, way down, and it goes to the point that I cannot articulate. It goes to the point that I cannot put my problems into the words. And it's not like hell broke loose on me, even if like I sound like that hell has broken loose on me. It's not like that. It's just that I haven't dealt with problems of such intensity before in my life. Probably this is going to be a lesson, surely, not probably, this is going to be a very good lesson in my life. And when I come out of this phase of my life, I will come out as a strong person, and I like to think it that way. I like to think that even if the damage that is going to happen to my life, there's going to be something in my mind which is going to flick its switch, and I will start being nonchalant about the problems that I'll face later in my life, and I will be powerful enough and courageous enough to face them. This video is so unplanned. I did not ever imagine myself going on about the state of my mind in such depths. I wanted this video to be a very light-hearted, very quick kind of a video, but it takes time for me to roll into the zone of speaking spontaneously. I don't know why. I cannot speak right away. It's almost like it takes some time to warm my mouth up. The rest of the points that I've written on this paper, they feel so light-hearted. I don't even want to talk about them right now, because the things that I've just talked about, if these things are compared to the later points, they are non-existent. These points are non-existent. Like, I'll quickly tell you what the rest of the points say. The next point says that I'm too lazy to show up. It is also a very serious kind of a thing that I want to talk about, that people have been really good to me. I really love how people like stayed with me for a long time, that they never gave up on me, but eventually they did. Some people just, and I do not blame them. This is because the kind of a person I am, people eventually give up on me. They tried a lot to pull me out of my comfort zone, out of my boundaries, to make me go out and socialize and talk to other people. I really respect them for what they did, for all their efforts on me. I really respect that. I love them. I adore them for that. It makes me feel so sick about me. I'm such a disaster to socialize. I'm such a coward to even start a conversation. And that's what I'm working on, and that's what this video is about. I really want to go on about my shit. I really want to do that. Even if I don't want to talk about shit, I really want to be able to carry out those superficial conversations, which are like small talks that you do every day. I want to master them. That is one of the reasons why I started making this video. To be very frank about it, I really wanted people to not give up on me, but they also have life. Why would they spend so much of their energy on me to pull me out of my comfort zone and just throw me into such scenarios which will make me force myself to socialize? Why would they continue to do that? They also have their lives. I am just some person in their life who cannot have a proper conversation, but I would like them to do. I would like them to keep trying on me. This makes me feel like, okay, I'm on the verge of being normal. But when people give up on me, when people are not patient with me, I feel that there's no hope for me, which is kind of an insane thought, because it already took me a couple of years to get rid of this thought, but it's coming back again. I don't know why would this come back again at such a peculiar time. Like, this is the time when I need to believe in myself most, and I am just being me for some reason. Okay, I think I should just stop talking now because already the video is getting too long. And yeah, the rest of the points here says that I have an obsessive compulsive disorder, which many of you might relate with. I have ADHD, which is also many of you might relate with. Let's talk about these points quickly, okay? The thing about OCD is that I'm not very obsessive about it, but I do have some compulsive behaviors. Like, I check the locks all the time. I check the gas switches frequently, and I check all the light switches a couple of times every day. Why do I do that? It's a compulsive behavior. I want all the books on my table to be arranged in a regular way. I want things to be at certain places properly organized, because if they are not that way, then I will lose my mind. This is how it is with me, although it's very unexpected of me because I'm such a mess in real life, but I want my things to be organized. Another point is ADHD. So it's attention deficit something. I don't remember the full form of this abbreviation, but I know what it means on a high level, although I may be wrong or I may be oversimplifying things. But ADHD is, just putting it simply, it's like getting distracted with a lot of things. So, and Instagram is an enemy of people who have such conditions. So if your mind is so much disturbed by all these things, and if it is not fixated on one thing, then you should probably delete Instagram. And that's what I've tried doing a lot of times this year, and I've succeeded being off Instagram for 3 months, which was a very good time in my life. I read a lot of books in this time. I found that I have a good attention span, and I was genuinely happy in this time. But then I installed it again, I don't know why, and I was just pulled right back into the whole loop of brain rot and doom scrolling. I would probably delete this app again. I sure as shit want to delete this app again, but you know how it goes. Any addiction that you want to, it's not the way to just get rid of it right away. You have to lower the consumption and then eventually get rid of it. This ADHD thing has disturbed me a lot because this is because of how Instagram promotes consumerism. And basically Instagram just experiments with you. It wants to learn you. It wants to learn what are your hobbies, what are the things that you're interested in. So, and then it masters those things. It masters your behavior. It actually knows what exactly you want to see, and then it curates the whole feed according to your liking, and then it shows it to you, and then you are just pulled back into it. There are loads of engineers behind it writing these genius algorithms so that you as an end user spend a lot of time on that app watching brainless shit that you think that may be useful for you, but it's just some false sense of gaining knowledge. It's not a pure knowledge. It's just knowledge in parts which you kind of consume because you want to stay relevant amongst your friends. You want to stay updated with all the things which are going on in this world. But it's not a good thing because you can do it by reading news and all. But reading news is so mediocre, right? You might have come across a lot of these reels in which people just boast about how they have so many hobbies and interests. But how is it a good thing? I don't understand. If you have so many hobbies, if you have reached at a certain level in all of them, then it's a good thing. But you are just touching everything and just leaving it after it gets hard to continue doing them, then it's not a good thing. You're just exploring. It's not your hobbies. It's something which you stumbled upon and then you got rid of it when it got hard. So instead of boasting this behavior, you should try to see that this is wrong. And having a lot of hobbies is, if you look at it, it's genuinely a bad thing because you cannot focus on one thing properly. There's something which is coming from a person who has been like that for a long time in his life. Focus on one thing. Be very good at it. Undeniably good at it. And then you'll start noticing the difference. Who am I to share such wisdom with you? This is what I learned by trying and experimenting a lot of things. and then I settled for one. I will have hobbies, I will still explore, but I won't go too deep into anything. I will control my ADHD, and I will delete Instagram as soon as possible because that place is a nightmare to be at. It's not a good place to be at because, and I might sound like a fucking kid who's trying to get rid of Instagram for the hundredth time in his life. It's not a good place. I will have this kind of thinking for the rest of my life. This is going to fuck with your brain in the worst way possible, and you will notice this sooner or later that it's much better to watch a 3 hour long movie rather than scrolling for 3 hours. Reading a book is much better than doom scrolling brainlessly because it fucks with your brain. It sure as shit does fuck with your brain. But on the other hand, it fucks with your attention span. It makes you impatient in your life. And there are already a lot of videos on YouTube talking about these things, but it has become a cliche to talk in such a way about Instagram. But so what? If a thing is cliche, then it's not like it's a false thing. If it's cliche, if a lot of people are talking about it, then probably there's some truth into it. Probably this is something which you should study more about and then make a decision about it. Be mindful about what you are using. Be mindful about what you are downloading into your phone. Don't let an app ruin your fucking life. It's just an app. At the thought of it on a high level, it might not seem like it's ruining your life. It might not appear like this, but I will provide some resources in the description which has helped me to gain some knowledge about brain rot. Most of you might already know what brain rot is. It was a word of the year in 2024, Oxford word of the year. It's something which is very unnecessary bullshit which this app is shoving into your brain, and you're just taking it in. You're consuming it like it means something. You're justifying it because everyone else is doing it. But see, this habit of watching reels in a group, let's say of 10 people, it is similar to a habit of smoking amongst a group of 10 people. Like all of them are smoking, and smoking is bad. You already know that. But just because your peers are doing it, it makes it less bad somehow. It lowers its impact somehow. Don't go into peer pressure. Delete this app, and you will install this app once in a while because the whole world is on this app. So if you are not on this app, then probably you are just non-existent to them. So you will find yourself installing this app and deleting this app over and over again, but get past this cycle. There will be one stage when you will stop doom scrolling. This has happened with me. Like whenever I install this app just to see how people are doing in their life, but then this algorithm, which is very genius algorithm, it tries to pull you in. It tries to show you the exact kind of content you want to consume, and then it pulls you right into it. You watch some reels and then you're wasted. 2 or 3 hours of your day is going to get wasted on that particular curated content. So what happens with me is, I don't know what really happened, but it is probably because of the resources that I have read on this topic, which has made my mind realize that this is a bad thing. I will put some of these resources in the description. There is a long video essay on it. Then there's a book called The Anxious Generation, which I have read this year, which is also, it will open your eyes. It's an eye opener. The author, Jonathan Haidt, I think, he gives so many examples and so many statistics, actual numbers, which will scare the shit out of you. The mental health decline, which has been prominent among teenagers after 2010. If you see those graphs and statistics, it will start haunting you. It will start to make you feel in a certain way about Instagram, that you don't want to use this app anymore. You want to be off it. And this is what happens with me. Whenever I open this app, whenever I just scroll 5 or 6 reels, my mind just sends a signal that whatever the fuck I'm doing is wrong. It just makes me close this app automatically. So this is a good thing. This is the kind of a thing which you will develop after getting aware of the situation. So first, go through all the resources that I'm providing in description. You will see that there's something wrong with it. You don't know exactly why, but after going through the resources, you will know exactly what is wrong with it, and then you will at least be aware about what you are consuming. And that is what is important. You need to be aware about it. You need to be mindful about it. If you want to scroll mindfully. You should train your mind to send you that signal of just getting off Instagram. And I guarantee you that if you are struggling with patience problem and attention span problem, then getting off Instagram is the first thing that you should do. You will start noticing remarkable changes in you in a very short period of time. So enough about Instagram, and this video is already very long, and I want to conclude that this video was so spontaneous. I had no plan of making this video today. It just occurred to me that I should make a video and I should start talking about something. That's why I just took a pen and paper and I jotted down the points briefly, and I started talking about them. So it might appear that this video has no agenda or no specific purpose. I will sure as shit be confused about the title of the video, because this video is not particular to one thing. I'm just going on about whatever is coming into my mind. And I know that you might have found this video very confusing and convoluted with its plot and writing, but like I said, this video was an experiment. It was just that I wanted to see that how long I can go on without proper agenda in my mind. And I think that I did a pretty good job at speaking spontaneously, although what I spoke was very unorganized, unedited, uncut kind of a thing. It was purely on a whim. This video was purely random. So with that thought, I want to conclude this video. So if you have enjoyed this video, or somehow felt that this video was kind of helpful to you, like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Probably after a year. I won't be making any videos in the next 12 months because I'm going to be super busy into something, and that's it. So bye bye.